And I think it is all our collective ambition for this country that that region, and perhaps the Dublin region, will become that Silicon Valley of the future. So I think that there are things that we can do for ourselves as a nation and as a region to try to capture the opportunities that are presented. But for this country to participate in the premier division of competitive economies, we need to fix all of those things that are broken. We need to address the unpopular challenges at times. We need to do things in a brave way, a forthright way, and in a way that will transform this whole economy.
The future is going to be green. This new, like Ireland growing is a series, the topic of lectures, like we don't need to grow bigger and bigger. We need to be slim and efficient and healthy, and maybe less is more. And these technologies, these digital technologies allow you to do it. They allow you to actually do things more efficiently using less resources. And I think most of the people in this industry, or there's a collective consciousness within this new digital industry that that is true. They're going to look for countries, look for locations that get that understand that Herman Daly is right. What we have to concentrate now is not on economic growth for its own sake, but for qualitative improvement. Digital technologies give us that. They're a technology that we can use in a very human way to just make life better, more comfortable, in a non-self-conscious, in an ordinary, everyday, part of what we do way.
It changes the way companies, no matter where you're at in the world, can actually touch and impact a consumer base. The opportunities are endless, borderless. So when I think about the digital age and how Cisco is playing and supporting it, it allows every single one of the organizations represented here or individuals to reach out far beyond, the traditional market space that they've been in the past. Connectivity and reach, it's no longer a nice to have, it's a need to have. 5 years ago, I think folks struggled, I know I struggled getting internet connections. So therefore, it limited my opportunity to explore what was actually available to fit the needs that I need. I think now, in the age that we're operating, what we want, we could find. And it's available to us. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it tended to be what was immediately in front of us. Now it's whatever's out there.
The limits of geography are gone. I think a lot of time the limits of your financial ability and all of that's gone too. It's the best enabler ever, and I don't know. It's not the Hollywood dream or the American dream, but it's that idea that quality is starting to rise up, and if you have a good story to tell, and if you've got a good message, and if you've got a very good product, then exploiting, using the internet will actually get that product known by an awful lot of people. And I think that's what's changed. You don't need massive advertising budgets anymore to get a product out there. If it's good, and if it's solid enough to tell a good story and people like how they use it, then everyone will actually know of it soon enough. It's that viral thing where good news does travel quite fast.
It totally depends on the product or service that you've got, but the market out there is growing. With more broadband penetration comes more demand. The internet is now given a completely flat playing field to go and find the highest quality, the lowest price, whatever the case is. Quality does rise. So if you have a quality product or a quality service, or even something that's reasonably good that you can market, you can definitely grow your business significantly.
In terms of the user interface, I think the web has grown so quickly, and a lot of it was developed by engineers who built this really kind of nice, technically complex system. But of course, a lot of effort was left out in terms of the user interface and what you're saying in terms of people, their eyes skimming over buttons on the screen that are perfectly obvious to us, people who write the code. It's something that's become increasingly important, and for games, for websites, for whatever. And there was an interesting talk by Matt Mulley from WordPress at an event recently, where he talked about the huge effort that they've shifted from engineering towards user interface in terms of actually making buttons easier to detect. Basically, they did this laser eye tracking where they tracked people's eye movements on the screen, and they knew that people actually looked at a particular screen and their eyes rested on the button that they were supposed to click on, but they didn't click on it because either it was the wrong color, they used the wrong words on it, or whatever. So very intuitive and simple stuff, but it's become of huge importance because of the way we now use the web.